Visit tcm.com/festival.
Hi, I'm Dave Karger. We have more of TCM's Thanksgiving with Carol coming up. This next film, and its parody from The Carol Burnett Show, aired as part of my series with her last December. Hope you enjoy them both. Carol Burnett, welcome back for the final night of Sunday Nights with
I've had
Carol.
such a good time, thank you.
We've got another great film to talk about. Mildred Fierce from 1945, directed by Michael Curtiz, the movie that Joan Crawford won her Oscar for. Would you say Joan Crawford was a favorite actress of yours when you were growing up?
Yes, I would say that. And I love Betty Davis, and of course they were not. But the thing that Betty Davis said about Joan was, even though they didn't like each other, she said Joan Crawford was very professional, on time, knew her lines. She said, I will give her credit for that.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, this is arguably her best performance. I think she gets to show so many different colors in this.
Right.
She's like an independent woman, but she's also berated by her daughter, played by Anne Blythe. This movie is also really interesting because it mixes genres. I think it is a woman's picture, but it also has these murder noir elements to it. Is that what you like about it?
The whole thing. I mean, I love the whole movie, and Zachary Scott was so deliciously evil. She starts out vulnerable, yet the way her daughter treats her, she's a sap.
Yeah, it's so true.
In a way.
You know, there's this kind of subgenre of great mother-daughter stories. I would say Stella Dallas or Imitation of Life, both versions of that, but particularly the Lana Turner version. You're a mom of daughters. I mean, did you find that mother-daughter stories on screen are some of your favorites?
Yes, and in fact, maybe there might be a story that I wrote about Carrie and me. A mother-daughter love story is what it's called, so there's talk about doing it.
That's very exciting. When you were thinking about which films to spoof, this one came a little bit later. This was in the 10th season that you did this one. Was this one that you kind of had in your mind to do for a long time?
I think it was, and then we wound up doing other stuff, but then the writers came up with this idea and how to do it. And Vicki was perfect for it. She was great in the Anne Blythe role. I'm just so proud of her. We got her when she was 18 years old.
Unbelievable.
Out of high school. And boy, did she learn. She was like a sponge. And she wound up being really a brilliant comedian.
Fantastic. Of course, as I mentioned, this is Joan Crawford's Oscar-winning performance, and very famously, she did not go to the ceremony. She was sick, but managed to get well enough to take a photo. Right
in the bed.
You've won so many different awards, whether it's Emmys and everything. Can you imagine not going to a ceremony to accept an award and saying that you were sick?
No, I can't.
Right.
I can't. She was scared maybe,
Right.
And didn't want to have to sit there and smile if somebody else got it.
Right. It's so Joan.
So she knew what she was doing.
Well, it's a very deserving win.
Yes,
Let's
it
watch
is.
the movie, and then we'll talk more about your spoof of it. Here it is from 1945, Joan Crawford and Mildred Fierce. Okay, Carol, we love Mildred Fierce, but we also love Mildred Fierce. And this came 31 years after the movie in 1976, season 10. Do you want to tee it up for the audience?
Here is now, for your enjoyment, I hope, Mildred Fierce.
That really is one of my favorites, and I think the way that you all did it is so fun. Your writers really outdid themselves on that one.
Yeah.
This one is firing on all cylinders, from the comedy to the casting, but I want to talk about your look. I mean, you've got the eyebrows on. What was your reaction when you saw yourself?
That was Bob Mackie. And Joan Crawford called me afterwards. I was so thrilled, and she said, I absolutely loved it. And I said, oh, thank you, Miss Crawford. And she said, well, you know what? You gave us more production value than that, and she did an expletive, than that effing Jack Warner.
Oh, gosh.
I screamed with laughter.
Which is funny because I think Mildred Fierce the movie from the 40s looks great.
I do too, but for some reason, I think she was just being flattering, you know. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Let's talk about that beautiful dress that you have with strawberries on it. That's another terrific Bob Mackie creation.
Bob Mackie. Well, you know, he designed 60 to 75 costumes a week. You do the math, 11 years, it's about 17,000 costumes. He came up with everything everybody wore, not just what I wore.
And the great thing about Bob, I've gotten to know him, even though he's not the kind of person who's going to make you howl with laughter when you're sitting with him at dinner, he's got such a great sense of humor.
It's totally. There were times there would be a sketch that I wasn't sure how I was going to play her until I went into the fitting. And Bob said, "This is how I see her." And I'd put on the outfit and I'd say, "Oh, that's who she is."
Oh, wow.
Then that gave me my character.
Let's talk about Vicki Lawrence, because I do think as Vita, this is one of the ones where she really got to show her
Wasn't she
stuff.
wonderful? You know, she wrote me a fan letter when she was 17 years old, and we were about to do the show. And at one point, we were going to do a sketch every so often where Harvey and I would be a married couple raising my kid's sister. Okay, it's called Carol and Sis. We didn't do it all the time. So we auditioned her. She was in a contest in Inglewood called Miss Fireball of Inglewood. And we went to the contest because she told me in her fan letter, and I had a feeling. I said, "We're going to go see the Miss Fireball contest." And we went. She won the contest. And she looked a lot like me when I was 17 or 18. And we thought, okay, so we hired her. So she started out, she was 18, playing my kid sister and wound up being my mama.
Isn't that amazing?
I know. Harvey was so great with her. He took her under his wing and he mentored her. He taught her about props. He taught her about lines, how to listen. Don't just wait for your cue, how to do. And Vicki was just like a sponge, and she learned. And you know, when in Gone with the Wind, when she did that, when she did Vita now in Mildred Fierce, she was brilliant.
Yes.
And of course, Harvey, forget it. He can do everything.
All of them. It really was the A-team. We've got more Carol Burnett, Harvey Korman, and Vicki Lawrence coming right up. But first, we return to introduce 1939's Gone with the Wind, followed by the Carol Burnett Show's iconic take on that film, Went with the Wind. Don't go anywhere.
Next on TCM, Gone with the Wind. Then, Sweet Rosie O'Grady. And later, Three Little Words. Carol Burnett knows them by heart tonight.